Managing colour in the gCADPlus environment can sometimes be quite tricky. I have a series of circles on the right hand side of the screen at the moment. Cyan, yellow, magenta and black are their colours. So if I select the circle, can you see that I've made that circle have a colour cyan? I've got lots of colours to choose from, and I can even go down into select colour here, and I've got a choice of what are called index colours running. That's number 147 and that's number 37, but I can also go to true colours and select an enormous number of true colours and just ring the changes. What true colours do is store a number, a triplet of numbers, 193, 193 and 255, will come over here and those numbers change. They're red, green, blue settings. So we'll cancel from there. So the simplest thing to do with an entity if you wanted to have colour in gCADPlus is just to select the entity. In this case I've drawn a circle and I've said it should be filled. I have said it doesn't have a border. Let's put a border around it. We'll say yes, it's got a border, and we'll pick the border colour and we'll come down here and make it colour 250. So now it's got a black outline. So that's the simplest form of managing colour. Well, in contrast to that, what I've done here with this polygon, that polygon is set such that colour is being inherited by the layer that the entity sits on. So I've put it on a layer called wall, and so we're inheriting whatever colour setting there is for the wall layer. And let's just have a look at that now. We'll come over here to layers and come down here to wall, and you can see I've set that index colour 40 for that entity. So any entity that has its properties set by a layer that is placed on that layer is going to inherit that colour. Let's draw. So let's make our current layer no longer layer 0, but we'll make it layer wall, and then we'll say draw a polygon, and we'll leave it as 5 sides, and we'll draw a polygon here. We'll select the polygon, and we'll say that it's filled, and because our current layer is the wall layer, and so that polygon is now going to, once we unselect it, it'll inherit that colour. If I switch that from layer wall to layer 0, then the filled polygon inherits the properties of the layer 0. So if I come back here, you can see that layer grasses has a colour, plant graphic has a colour, it's a colour 131. So if I move that one onto layer graphic and unselect all, it inherits the colour there. So that's two quite separate ways of managing colour. Well, not only can you set index colours to entities, if we pick this door here, you may be able to see over on the left that its colour's been set 255, 40 and 40. That's an example of setting one of these true colours. So we've gone away from this numbered set up to true colours and said we're going to select a true colour. So we would have come over here somewhere and picked the appropriate colour. Well, colours can also be set inside a block or a symbol. So if I pick this one and we say edit the block, I'll pick the green here and it's colour 73 and it's set inside the block. The line running through the middle there is actually set a slightly darker colour green, and then we close the block editor. So they're index colours set inside that symbol. To further complicate things, it's also possible to set transparency within a block. See how this particular symbol through here has got some varying colours, a darker, a lighter and very light colour. Let's pick that symbol and move into the edit block mode. Now when I click here, that has colour 148, 165, 66, so it's one of these true colours. It is filled, but if you come down here, notice that the transparency has been set to 150 This one has transparency at 255, so it's dense. This one has transparency at 200. So we're setting colour by altering the transparency in that zone. So I hope you can see that colour, managing colour, can be quite tricky, and you do, I think, need to be consistent about how you do things. Try not to mix different ways of doing colour within the same design. One last word of warning: if you do use transparency to generate different colours, be aware that not all modern PDF writers will print that transparency, and they may take a very long time even to print the drawing. So printing a drawing with transparency can create some problems, so use it sparingly, and if you do want to print transparency, you might want to experiment with our file save as PDF, because that will make a PDF file with transparency, although it won't print at a very, very high resolution. So in a case like this, where the drawing has a mix of different ways of setting colour, I think that ought to be standardised.